share with you the presentation. And basically the story that I would like to share with you today is very interesting, and it goes back a couple of years where we realized that we can target a specific cell surface receptor, which can be found only in pathological cells, but not in normal cells. I would like to take you through the story and the achievements that we got after we came up with this really amazing story, and let me share it with you. So we are basically an Israeli-based company where the management and the discovery labs are based in Israel. And we have a group, an excellent group in the United States, which is doing the preclinical and the clinical development of our drugs. All our drugs are small molecule, orally bioavailable. Patients can take them morning and evening. And in a minute, you will understand that this drug have robust anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer effect. During the last couple of years, we got into a robust clinical proof of concept. This was very important for us because our drugs are not me too. They are novel drugs with a very interesting platform technology, which I will introduce you with today. And the interesting thing which happened to us was that we could show a robust clinical proof of concept through successful phase 2 and phase 3 clinical studies. We also successfully out-licensed our drugs. Our strategy is to develop the drugs, to register the drugs, but not to market. So we are continuously putting lots of efforts in order to find partners that will be the ones to market our drugs in the clinic upon registration. And last but not least, we just concluded the first AQ of this year. We have in the bank $12.4 million, which will be suffice to take us through 2024. And let's start the story. So the platform technology is very unique. As I mentioned already, we have discovered a cell surface receptor, this green structure, which can be found only in pathological cells, both inflammatory and cancer cells. And you can see that normal cells does not express the target. All our drugs bind with very high affinity and specificity to the target. So they can bind here. It's like a key and the lock. The target is the lock and the drug is the key. And you can see that the drugs, when they get into the body, they will not bind to the normal cells, since they do not have the lock. They will bind also here. As a result, and after we have already treated more than 1,500 patients, we have an excellent safety profile, because the normal body cells and normal body tissues are not affected at all by the drugs. At the same time, the drugs have a very good proven therapeutic effect, and I would like to take you through the different drugs in our pipeline and tell you each one of them, where are we. So the first drug candidate is Piclidenoson, and this is currently positioned for the treatment of psoriasis, a very devastating disease of the skin. All of you, I'm sure, are familiar. So you can come up and ask me, why can't I develop a drug for psoriasis? Well, there are so many drugs out there, biological drugs, which are doing a very good job. But yes, you are right with this question. At the very beginning, these biological drugs are indeed doing a very good job. But after a couple of months or a year, these drugs will stop doing a good job and the patients will deteriorate. Not only that, the drug induces very severe adverse events, and the patients need to move to the next biological drug, and then again to the next biological drug. So how our drug is differentiated from the biological ones. So our drug is a small molecule, orally bioavailable, and patients do not have to go to the outpatient clinic in order to get it via injection or infusion. They can take it at home, morning and evening, and our drugs does not induce any adverse events. The profile is exactly just the placebo-treated patients with a very nice effect that I will share with you in a minute. The second drug candidate is Namodenoson, currently positioned for the treatment of two very devastating oncological diseases. One is advanced liver cancer. The second one is pancreatic cancer. Everybody knows that till now there is no efficacious treatment on the clinic. And last but not least, additional liver disease, NASH. It's accumulation of fat in the liver, not on an alcoholic basis. And beside these two lead drugs, we have additional two drugs still in preclinical studies, one for the treatment of erectile dysfunction, and the other one is a target cannabinoid receptors, and we will get into it down the road of this presentation. And as I told you, our business development strategy is to out-license. Till today, we have already signed 7 different out-licensing agreements and got already $20 million out of upfront money. We signed agreements in Canada with Cypher, in Eastern Europe with BioPharma, in Central Europe with GCFF. We signed an agreement with a very big Chinese company, CMS Pharmaceutical, for both drugs, Piclidenoson and Namodenoson. We signed an agreement in Korea, one with CKD and one with Kwangdong. With Kyongbu. And out of these agreements, and this is only the beginning of partnership, what you see here, and we continuously look for additional partners that will come on board. But out of these 7 agreements, we are going to get additional $130 million into the bank, which will come out of regulatory milestones, sales milestones, and on top of it will come double-digit royalties. So this is our strategy. It infuses non-dilutive money into the company, and we think that we are going on the right avenue regarding the business development activity. Let me now share with you more data and more facts regarding the drugs under development. So Piclidenoson is our first drug candidate, and this is currently developed for the treatment of moderate to severe psoriasis. So you can see here that in a recently concluded phase 3 clinical study, we got a very good data. You can see here progressive effect all along the study. This is the treated patients. This is a placebo-treated patients. Very nice, statistically significant value. With this data, we have already approached both the EMA in Europe and the FDA in the United States. We have been already approved by the EMA, and we are waiting to hear a word from the FDA very, very shortly. You will hear it in the frame of a couple of weeks from now. In the frame of this phase 3, we had already a comparator Otezla, which is already a drug on the market, which is sells like 20% of the market. Our safety profile was much better. So we envision that we will be also able to take like 20% of the market right after we will register the drug with both the FDA and the EMA. So let's move now to the next drug candidate, Namodenoson, which is positioned today for the treatment for advanced liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and NASH. So let's start from the treatment of advanced liver cancer. And I have to say very proudly that we are not aware of any other company which treat patients in such an advanced stage of the disease. And let's look at the former phase 2 clinical study. And I would like to bring here a test case of a patient which started with a very big tumor and in her liver. You can see here the tumor with lots of metastases all over the body. After a couple of months, you can see here how here all the tumor from the liver and also the metastases from all over the body just disappeared. This was amazing. Currently, we are enrolling patients for a pivotal phase 3 clinical study approved by both the FDA and the EMA. We have also been granted by both regulatory authorities orphan drug designation and fast track, and we are now enrolling patients actively for this study. We are going to have an interim analysis after we will enroll 50% of the patients. And we got the word from both the FDA and the EMA that if the data of the interim analysis will be positive, we will be able to get right away a conditional approval. So we are very happy with what we achieved with the liver cancer, advanced liver cancer indication, and we are waiting for the interim analysis results. Regarding the second oncological indication, which is pancreatic carcinoma, we came up recently with very good preclinical studies. Based on it, we developed a phase 2 clinical study protocol. We will start enrolling patients very, very shortly, and we'll be very happy to share, of course, the data with the public. We just announced 2 days ago that we are going to submit an IND to the FDA, and hopefully very soon we will be able to come up and tell you that the FDA approved this IND. Let's move now to the third indication with this drug, NASH. NASH is a non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, meaning accumulation of fat in the liver, not on an alcoholic basis. Our drug, we took it through phase 2B clinical, phase 2A clinical study, which showed very good data in reducing liver fat content. It induced anti-inflammatory effect. We selected the dose based on the data of this study. The study also induced a decrease in body weight. We had an excellent safety profile and also reduced fibrosis. Based on the good data, we took the drugs through a phase 2B clinical study where we are now actively enrolling patients in Israel and in Europe. We are also planning to open an IND in the United States. And if the data of this study will be reproducible, it will open the door for us for a phase 3 clinical study. As I told you, we have 2 additional drugs which are still in preclinical studies. CF602, based on anecdotal report of patients which told us that they are doing very well with their sexual dysfunction while they are taking the Can-Fite drugs, we decided to take a third drug candidate, CF602, and to push it into the clinic based on very good data that we have shown in preclinical studies. We have the mechanism of action, and during the next year, we would like to push this drug into phase 1 clinical studies. And last but not least, the cannabinoid program is also a preclinical study program. It happened to be that cannabinoids bind also to the very same target receptor that I mentioned before. So we embarked on this knowledge and we developed an assay which can say on a given cannabinoid if it will be a good candidate later on in the clinic or not. So if we will now summarize what I have presented you today with, so we are developing oral drugs, small molecule oral drugs with proven safety and very good efficacy in phase 2 and phase 3 clinical studies. We are monetizing advanced portfolios through corporate partnerships. We have already signed 7 different agreements which introduced the company with cash money. We have a novel therapeutic approach with our unique technology for the treatment of cancer, liver cancer, pancreatic cancer, and inflammatory diseases. We have an intellectual property portfolio which cover and protect all our indications. And financially, we are well positioned. Thank you very much for sharing with us the knowledge about our company, and I will be very happy to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fishman. So there's a few questions here from the audience. The first one from Emilio is, this is a tough one. Which of your pipeline drugs do you think have the most potential? Obviously, everyone has potential. Which one do you like the potential most?
You mean regarding the drugs?
Yeah, the pipelines, because you have a few.
Yes, so actually, the 2 first drugs, both Piclidenoson and Namodenoson, are currently in pivotal phase 3 clinical studies. Since in the Namodenoson and the liver cancer, we will have an interim analysis, we think that this will be the first indication to get the approval, and hopefully we will be able to come with good news and to share it with you.
Great. And for the next 12 months, how will you advance the preclinical products for the next 12 months?
In the next 12 months, most probably we will be able to conclude the NASH study and hopefully, and maybe also the interim analysis with the liver cancer. And of course, we would like to come up with business development milestones that we will be able to sign more agreements and introduce more non-dilutive money into the company.
Great. This question coming from Paul P. said, what role does AI or LLM models now or will play in your preclinical phases of product development?
So regarding the preclinical development, we have the CF602, which is currently positioned for the treatment of patients who suffer from sexual dysfunction. And actually the other drugs on the market are drugs which patients who suffer from diabetes or from cardiovascular diseases cannot enjoy. So we are planning to position CF602 for the treatment of patients who suffer from hypertension and from cardiovascular diseases, and bring also to this population of patients drugs to help with their sexual dysfunction.
Great. That's in time to put one last question from Yi-san here. He's asking about how's your current partnership, the Chinese partnership, progressing, and are you looking to partner with other Asian pharma in the future?
Yes, the partnership in China is progressing very well. We are very happy from the collaboration with CMS Pharmaceutical and from the people who are very professional. We signed also in Asia additional agreement, 2 agreements in Korea, one with Kyongbo for the psoriasis indication and one with CKD Pharmaceuticals for the Namodenoson drug, and we hope to sign more agreements in Asia. Do not forget that we are an Israeli company. We are also based in Asia, and it's very good to know that we can sign agreements with our neighbors. Thank you for this question.
Great. Thank you, Benita, for your latest update. Seems like a lot of positive developments on all fronts, but thank you for your time here sharing with us your story.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.